there guys, this is Reliant, and this will be a product review. I don't normally do these, the whole unboxing things and stuff like that, but just, this is the first time I've dealt with this one product, and it was significantly different from what you normally see, that I thought I'd do a kind of a review of what's in the box and my thoughts on it and stuff like that. So what we're going to be talking about here is the Privateer Press Signar Stormclad Reliant Dual Kit. So in the past you could be getting Stormclad. It was your normal metal kit where you get these metal bits and you glue it together. Reliant didn't exist, and now when they released Reliant, he was part of this combo kit. And, they've made combo kits before. You can get that. Actually, Signar had two other ones before this. So I kind of expected more of the same, but that's not what I got whatsoever. So, I've already made these, so it's not like perfect out of the box. But the main thing that you saw that was different is that in previous kits there from Privateer Press, you'd be getting kind of like a bag of bits, and like everything's really there. Sometimes there's a few things put together on a sprue, but pretty much it's just all these separate pieces just good to go. Now these came on actual sprues. On these sprues there were four different sprues here, maybe five. Yeah, 5 different sprues, but just like tons and tons of bits on all of these, and it's just wow. First of all, just the amount of pieces that were now having to be dealt with, and then also about how this was really reminiscent of some Games Workshop stuff that I used to always get before, right? When I did 40K and fantasy and stuff like that. This is what I was used to. I got this all the time, where I'd have my recycling used to always be just full of these sprues, full of the different pieces. So I'm not really used to seeing this from Privateer Press. This was completely new, but I thought, hey, whatever, let's give this a try. Another nice thing that it came with as well, which it kind of needs because of all the pieces, is some instructions. It actually had very, very clear instructions saying, hey, here's all the things in here, step by step, depending on whether it is a Stormclad or a Reliant. Sometimes there's multiple options. Same thing in the back, especially when it came from the weaponry. Is it a Stormclad or a Reliant? So really nice to have these on here. Again, before this, you kind of like maybe look at the back of the box and it kind of show how things went together. But again, you didn't need instructions before because you just got like your little bag full of like maybe 10 pieces, and it was always very clear where everything went. But putting this together definitely showed that, yeah, you'd need your instructions for this. Here is the completed model. So I went with the Reliant. Just some quick commentary on the actual look of the model. I definitely like it. It's really nice, looks really awesome, hooray. So glad that it's plastic. But man, was there a lot of pieces, when you're trying to work through this, you have your like main chassis coming together, then like the boiler that's on the back, each half of the different boiler, little details like the cap and the little vents here on the side, the little, like these exhaust things that come on the top and the caps on those, the shoulders are each 3 pieces, it's just so many different pieces coming together. And I just kept on thinking, like, well, why? Before, this would just be like the gun would be like 1 piece, and like this arm would be 1 piece. The whole main chassis, 2 pieces, and then like the head would be a separate one. But now there's just so many different pieces going together, which had the real negative of course, taking extra time and all that. Even like this one made me swear. Where on like the top, there's like these tiny like little handles that you have to like carefully put in little holes. So I would much rather have those just starting on there so I didn't have to do that. But yeah, and the problem is now mold lines. So some of these I've tried doing my best to kind of fix, but there's going to be a lot of work here where I'm just going to need to go and try and file these off because they're all over the place. There's so many different sprues, and a lot of these are in not very flattering places. Like the one on the face is right on the frickin' front of the face. And I think that's a big thing that Games Workshop, because I mean they did this for years, right? To make sure that we're giving everyone their fair due. This is Privateer Press's first kit like this, so there's going to be a learning curve, and I don't know if they're even going to continue ever doing more of these. But one right on the front of the face. Games Workshop, say what you will about them, they're getting very good at having those connection points in the sprue being in hidden spots so that it wasn't so bad. You wouldn't have it like middle of the face. It would just be like in the back of the neck where it plugs in, and then you'd never see it. That was never something you'd have to file down. Looking on the legs here, I have a spot here and a spot here that I have to cover. Maybe like if Privateer Press did this, it'd be like inside the knee here. So when you put the cap back on, then it'd be covered anyway. So again, with this, I'm going to have to come back here to the legs, and I'm going to have to file that off. And it's not really a huge, huge hassle, but it is still a hassle, and not one I'm really used to. Now, what's the advantage to this? I mean, first of all, I don't know the whole, economics behind it, whether this is cheaper or blah, 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 blah. But as a modeler and as a gamer, I know the advantage sometimes to having this is just having more being it more customable to however I want to make. I mean, if I want to convert something or customize something, the more separate pieces I have, the easier it is to adjust it. One of the perfect things on here is like the arms, right? The arms, because they're kind of on a ball socket, I can put them wherever I want. That's fantastic. The neck, I can put it however I want it to be. However, for the most part, that's where this ends. Like, I guess at the waist, I can turn them however I want, but it's not like that's on a ball joint. That'd be nice to be nice and custom. These legs, the legs are each 3 pieces going on to here, and there's no other way to do it. It's not like the knee was a ball joint. It's not like, well, on the here, I could force it to be a different way, but it kind of like little blocks coming out to kind of guide you to the correct way to put it on. So yeah, there's not really a lot of different ways you can really play with that. And when you're looking at some of these other details like I talked about, these shoulders being 3 pieces doesn't help me as a modeler at all. It's just extra work. Having these little handles being a separate piece, sure, I guess if I decided that I wanted to customize it so that those pieces weren't on there, okay, it saves me the hassle of clipping them off, but man, for everyone else I'd rather have it on, it's just that much more hassle to actually put it on. So overall, I gotta say, for this being a new experiment for Privateer Press, it was, I mean, this could certainly be way worse. I mean, I've said a lot of negative things, but these things could be way, way worse, where maybe there'd be a lot more connection points, a lot of flash on here. There was no flash. That's one thing I can say. Extra spare plastic that basically squeezes out of the mold. I didn't see any flash on here whatsoever. There's normally just, say, 2 connection points for each of these. So, I mean, like the sword. They could easily have been it. So, like, oh, for the sword, there's one here, one here, one here, one here. They didn't do that. So, the technology behind this is good, but I don't really feel this is a good way for them to go. Like I said, if you would have had it so it was like the main body, the bottom, leg, arm, I don't even like the flag. I just put it on there because there's a huge freaking hole there to fill. You don't need to have the 50-odd pieces that are in here. You just need like the 8, and that's all you really need. So either way, that's kind of my review. Would I suggest somebody to go buy this if they wanted the Reliant or a plastic Stormclad? Sure, yeah. I would totally recommend this if for no other reason that the models look awesome and they're plastic. And that really is a huge deal. The old metal ones, the paint will chip off them a lot easier. They're heavier. If anything ever breaks, it's kind of broken for good type thing. These, plastic model kits are fantastic. A little bit more hassle to put these guys together. Definitely having to deal with like mold lines on the face and stuff like that. But once it is together, it's going to be a great piece to have. So again, it'll be interesting to see whether in the future Privateer Press continues this style. I'm trying to think of some of the later. I can't think of any multi-kit that came after this one. I'm sure I'm forgetting one, but this might be the most recent multi-kit they've come out with. So it will be interesting to see if the future ones are like this, or if they go back to their old style. But yeah, there you have it. So thanks for watching. There's my first product review, and we'll catch you later. Bye.